Republic of Indonesia is not one land, but 3,000 islands sprawling along the equator in the far Pacific. An agricultural nation that is also richly blessed with an abundance and variety of natural resources. Rubber from Indonesia makes up 1/3 of the world's supply. Her oil reserves are the largest in the Far East. And yet, mineral wealth has not made Indonesia a rich nation. Independence has not banished poverty. And the deeds of the last decade have not kept faith with the words spoken, the pledges made, when a land and a people became free. The Hague, capital of the Netherlands, December 1949. The end and the beginning. Indonesia throws off 350 years of colonial chains. Hopes are high, promises bright, as Queen Juliana signs the proclamation granting sovereignty to the islands of the Dutch East Indies. For Ahmed Sukarno, the battle is ended, the victory is won. He has schemed and plotted, worked and prayed for this day. 30 years of struggle, many of them spent in Dutch prison cells, have made Sukarno a national idol, the hero of the liberation movement, the George Washington of Indonesia. When the new nation proudly raises her flag, there is only one choice for president. On August 17, 1950, with the Koran, Islam's holy book, held at the back of his head in traditional manner, Ahmed Sukarno takes the oath of office as President of the United States of Indonesia. The world watches, applauds, and welcomes Indonesia into the fraternity of the free. Now she can find her own future and determine her own destiny. Membership in the United Nations is one of Indonesia's first steps. We should aim, says Sukarno, at making one family of all nations. Touring the United States, he stands with his son at the Lincoln Memorial, visits the Jefferson Memorial, and speaks in reverent tones of democracy and all that it means to Indonesia. But at home, he welcomes visitors from the communist world, such as the president of the Soviet Union, Clement Voroshilov. And when the Russian leader attacks America and her colonial cronies, Sukarno leads the applause.
Со всякого рода наследием колониализма.
The Indonesian leader says he does not want to take sides in the Cold War. He attends conferences of so-called neutralist nations and listens as Tito of Yugoslavia and India's Pandit Nehru propose a policy of non-alignment. With Ethiopia's Haile Selassie and Archbishop Macarius of Cyprus, he joins in the political pact. Then in 1957, the independence of a British possession, Malaya, sets in motion a chain of events that will result in still another threat to peace in Southeast Asia. For in the new nation, Sukarno sees a rival in prestige and in power. Still, when the nation of Malaya is born, she is only 1/15 the size of Indonesia in land area and in population. But she retains close ties with England, and Sukarno is suspicious, distrustful. The first Prime Minister of Malaya is Tengku Abdul Rahman, a staunch friend and ally of the West. In 1963, with the support of the people and the leaders of Malaya's mixed population, a federation of former British territories to be called Malaysia is proposed. While the move is approved by the voters, Sukarno launches a bitter attack on the proposal as a neo-colonial creation of England designed to encircle and overwhelm Indonesia. The results of the referendum favor the federation, with Tunku Abdul Rahman continuing as Prime Minister of the newer nation. Indonesian reaction is a promise to crush and to destroy Malaysia. The four British colonies, Singapore, Sarawak, Brunei, and North Borneo, that merge with Malaya, create a country that is still only 1/10 the size of Indonesia in area and in population. But now Sukarno's nation shares a common border with the Malaysian territories of Sarawak, Brunei, North Borneo. And Indonesia strikes against her neighbor, sending paratroopers on guerrilla missions, waging a deliberate, undeclared war of terror and aggression. In jungles not too different from those in Vietnam, freedom and tyranny are locked in the same mortal combat. The people of Malaysia who ask only to live in peace can find no peace. Indonesian infiltrators have even landed on the Malayan mainland, and families in many areas must come together in communal villages or strategic hamlets to guard against guerrilla raids. A life that is hard at best is made even harder. A people that have suffered much must suffer more. Still, Tunku Abdul Rahman remains steadfast in his allegiance to the West. We want happiness and peace, he says, but we are not neutral. We stand firmly with the free world. The free world, in turn, stands firmly with Malaysia, as Prime Minister Rahman and his nation seek to survive the relentless threats to their new and sacred independence. It is, like Vietnam, a commitment to be kept. Indonesia remains armed and determined. Sukarno trains his troops and repeats his vow, we will crush Malaysia. And as his guerrillas prepare for new air and land assaults, he takes Indonesia out of the United Nations, the first country in history to withdraw from the World Organization.